because I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this, I'm that.
But I believe he sold his contract to a professional gambler in Las Vegas.
You felt like boxing's pretty rigged overall.
It's rigged, dude. I mean, so many politics, even with, MMA, man, there's so many politics. There's no more art anymore. It's just, let's get an influencer.
Gervonta Davis has addressed Floyd Mayweather's allegations that he rigged bouts. "I don't want to say he's a scumbag," he said, making it apparent how he thinks without really insulting Floyd. Tension between them continues to rise, and their relationship appears to be deteriorating.
That don't make no sense. You don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
He's next in line. This one, you're next in line.
Is there like a
Last question, guys.
is there like a love-hate though? Like
Yeah,
the fighter?
yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And he because I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this, I'm that.
Boxing pros think that politics now has a greater influence on choices than skill, and that the sport is substantially skewed. Concerns regarding biased promotions, unjust judgment, and preset results have been voiced by fighters and fans. It is increasingly difficult for genuine talent to flourish, since boxing's integrity is being questioned more than ever.
Felt like boxing's pretty rigged overall.
It's rigged, dude. I mean, so many politics, even with, MMA, man, there's so many politics. There's no more art anymore. It's just, let's get an influencer in there. I get it. It's like generating money because our attention span is so short. You look at clips now, it's like 7 seconds. I saw a dude slamming a lady the other day, and they were like, "Oh my God, that dude is," I'm like, well, do. I'm just gonna pick somebody and slam them. Where's the whole video? And our attention span is just so small. So money talks, of course. Yeah, let's get an influencer in there who has no style, but it draws attention. It's just.
Davis has revealed the intricacies of his connection with old mentor Floyd Mayweather by talking candidly about his prior encounters with him. Davis claims that Mayweather used particular management techniques. In order to get an advantage, fighters frequently plan events. "He did what he did," said Davis. "I'm simply concentrated. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and he's always been that way."
Floyd, I was doing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't follow him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
The phrase prize fighter describes boxers who put money ahead of their reputation or the caliber of their fight records. Some have viewed Gervonta Davis as exemplifying this mindset, emphasizing huge payouts above developing a strong CV by taking on opponents. Critics contend that this strategy compromises the competitive integrity of the sport by selectively selecting competitors in order to guarantee wins and high profits.
Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a prize fighter. I know a lot of you guys say, well, he doesn't fight for belts, he doesn't fight for legacy, he fights for money. He's a prize fighter, Jerry. And I'm going to assume a prize fighter is a guy who is solely making fights based off of cash reward. He'd rather fight a bum for 50 million than fight a guy who's experienced for 10 million. That is what a prize fighter would be. Actual definition, a professional boxer who competes in matches for money prizes. So let's take a look at it. Turki Al-Sheikh has declared he wants to make Tank versus Shakur. He says, My plan for Shakur is this fight. He's referring to Floyd Schofield, then Williams Zepeda, and then let's see if Tank wants to be in our show. Tank's not going to fight Shakur. He's not going to fight him in Saudi Arabia. So now that we've established Tank isn't a prize fighter, because if he was, his career resume would look a whole lot different, then we must ask, what is Tank's goal in boxing? I'll tell you right now, it's easy money. Tank is the type of guy, he'd rather fight, let's say, 4 Lamont Roaches for $20 million than fight 1 Shakur Stevenson for $80 million, which is fine. But I'm tired of people saying, oh, he's a prize fighter, that's why he's not taking these fights. He's not a prize fighter. The biggest money fights is Haney, Ryan, Teo, Shakur, and Loma. He's not even going to take half of those fights. So please, guys, all my Tank fans, all my guys who claim Tank is a prize fighter, that's why he's not fighting for the belts, please stop it. This guy's not a legacy fighter. He's not a prize fighter. He's just a guy who enjoys easy paydays. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Just stop misleading people with your comments.
According to their analysis of the recent fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, sports experts Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp were adamant that Roach had done enough to win, while acknowledging Davis's ability to deliver clean, powerful strikes. They pointed out that Roach's punches were just as strong, if not more so. In addition to highlighting the fight's competitive nature, this evaluation calls into question the judges' scoring system and the standards by which the result is decided. The opinions of the analysts add to the continuing discussion over the impartiality and openness of boxing rulings.
Tank Davis escaped Barclays Center on Saturday night with a majority draw against Lamont Roach.
Watching the fight, watching the punch, I think he surprised him. I think he surprised him with the punch and hit him in the wrong spot, the wrong place, and they caught him by surprise and they called him to go down.
Regardless, when you take a knee, if you go back and look at when Floyd Mayweather fought Cruz, I think, what was it, 2001, and he hit him on the button and he hurt his hand and he took a knee and they started the 10 count. Yeah, you can't take a knee.
You know, boxing is about, moving around, and there was a point where Tank and Roach decided, you know what, we tied right now. We finna sit here in the pocket and we finna bang. Boy, them boy were throwing, boy.
Roach came up. Roach normally fights at 130. He came up to 135.
Hey, listen, they got a rematch. They got a rematch. That fight was good. And obviously, I've seen a lot of boxers come out and say, Tank lost. When I looked at the scorecard, I think maybe going into round 7, maybe 7 or 8, maybe 7, I think Tank was up on the scorecard. The styles make fights, and Lamont Roach's style made that fight what it is. And he made no mistakes, too, all night.
Tank hit him with a couple of good shots, but Roach didn't move. Tank would catch him. He would counter him right back. Hey, that jab, he kept him up off him. He didn't back down. And normally Tank starts slow, comes on. Roach said, I'm here to stay.
I'm not sure what kind of conditioning Lamont Roach did, but whatever it is, I salute him. Everybody gets tired after round 7 and on, but his condition was up to par. They went to war all 12 rounds.
I thought Roach won the fight. I thought even without the knockdown, I thought he won it. Roach was the more aggressive fighter.
I would like to see them rematch at some point.
What do the numbers say? The pay-per-view numbers are going to tell you if people want to see a rematch. Because if they came out and bought the fight, yeah, they'll get a rematch. If they didn't do the numbers.
Response to the contentious 9th round of the fight between Davis and Roach, renowned trainer Robert Garcia stated that officials ought to step in whenever a boxer takes a knee without a good cause, such a low punch. Boxing regulations do not allow boxers to request timeouts during a round, Garcia said, expressed shock that referee Steve Willis did not declare Davis's knee a knockdown, pointing out that Willis is a well-respected official and ought not to have done so. Garcia's observations highlight how crucial it is to follow the regulations in order to preserve the integrity of the sport.
Should it have been a disqualification?
Look, it could have easily been a disqualification too, or a referee stops contest, because look, there's no way a fighter could take a timeout and go get his, during the round. There's no way a fighter could say, okay, timeout, because he took a knee like a timeout kind of thing, and walk to his corner to wipe his face. That's fucking unheard of and never seen before. There's no way that's legal in boxing. It shouldn't have. When a fighter, we just seen it recently with Espinosa and Rubesis. Rubeza's got hit with the right hand, and then he walks back and walks away, and the ref right away wiped it up.
That happened with Lara versus Angulo.
Exactly. It's over. It's over. So Tank doing that, took a knee. It should have right away. The ref should have started, counting as a knockdown. But he still walks away to his corner. I'm actually, surprised that the ref didn't call it a knockdown, because he's a really good ref.
Willis is a really good
Willis
ref.
is a great ref, one of the best in boxing right now, and that was a big mistake. He should have counted as a knockdown. Like I told you, I wouldn't have been surprised if when he walked away, if he would have just waved it up, because that's walking away from the fight. Because of the odds, okay, well, during the break, tell the corners to wipe it out. You can't do that when the fight's going on. There's no way, nothing. You can't do that when the fight's going on. You can't time out, take a knee, and walk away. There's just no way. But it is boxing, and a lot of things happen in boxing.
Gervonta Davis did not defend his title in a manner expected of a champion, Coach Bernie said in his analysis. Of the bout, he noticed that Davis seemed happy, while Lamont Roach battled with more passion and determination. This criticism implies that Davis might not have demonstrated the dominance usually attributed to champions by just finishing the rounds, which could have impacted his position and reputation in the boxing community.
He's a champion. He got to defend his title. He like I said, they both was looking at each other. And then finally, after Tank will be the one to throw the first punch. He felt like he wanted to retain his title. Lamont Roach felt like he was just happy to be there and get the success. He wasn't trying to take the title. And I'm saying that even from the last round, the final 20, 30 seconds of the last round, he wasn't throwing no punches. He looked at him and got caught with a jab. You can't close the show with a guy like that, with a guy like Tank Davis like that. Now, if he'd have had a knockdown or something, like a real knockdown or something, maybe he feeling, but you can't stop until the bell ends. You can't, even if you're being active and slipping and sliding and something, he just standing there looking at him. I don't know. I didn't understand that. I don't understand why fighters sit there and look at each other for a long time. Change the angle. Keep a rhythm in your way. Snap a jab. Do a feint. Ain't no need of you standing there looking at no man for 20 seconds in a fight. That don't make sense. But so I think, like I say, Lamont Roach, he will be kicking himself in the ass that he didn't do more, but grateful that he did enough.
That fight on the weekend, what'd you make of the controversy in that one?
Look, I had just finished my recovery session, so I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when obviously Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring, and again, we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to, go to your corner and get your face wiped. So, if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's unfortunate, but that's the fight game. Hopefully they'll do it again and he gets paid, what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily.
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the count. We've seen Miguel Cotto, take a knee, obviously into his corner, be put on the count. If we're allowed to start taking knees and run to our corners, well, I'm gonna start doing it too. If I as soon as I feel something, everyone will start to do it. But it's not right. You're a warrior. Doesn't matter if there's grease in your eye, a bit of gel in your eye, or whatever excuse you want to use. I've been through wars where there's blood pouring in my eyes. In the Lomachenko fight, blood was pouring. I'm wiping it away. We've seen it with other fighters. So we don't get opportunities just to take a knee, go to our corner, wipe us up, and might as well have a coffee and have a laugh and then get back to action.